My name is Lauren Book. I'm an attorney with a solo practice in Carrollton, Texas. The circumstances surrounding one of my particular clients was a partnership breakup, and I represented a gentleman who was a partner in a two-partner interest. And at the time that Bob and I came to know one another, efforts to resolve the partnership had failed, and efforts to communicate between myself as my client's attorney and the other party's attorney had reached a stalemate as well. And Bob was able to come in and kind of break that impasse that we had come to and get us on the road to some productive conversations. It was very difficult to communicate between these two partners. It was difficult to communicate between the attorneys, and Bob was really able to come in and facilitate just some points of communication, simple points of communication. I think in our particular case, that going from hopeless to hope turned on seeing some movement from the other side. A period of time that felt pretty hopeless because we weren't going anywhere turned into hope when we started seeing Bob has the ability to make a connection with the other party that we weren't, for whatever reason, making before. And when she started to move, she being the other party, then we started to think, okay, this thing has a chance to get home. I think the turning point for me in working with Bob was whenever he demonstrated that he could accomplish what he said he was going to accomplish. And in my line of work, when you're stalemated, sometimes you can start to feel hopeless about resolution to a case. When Bob gets involved and he tells you he's going to do something and then he does it, there's hope there. There's hope that you can wrap this case up. There's hope that you can get it to a resolution. And that was a true turning point for me and for my client as well. I think as attorneys, sometimes we get so galvanized into what our regular practice looks like that we lose sight of the true objective, which is to get a conflict to a resolution. And Bob, while he's not an attorney, he is very competent and qualified in what it is that he does. And what I feel Bob really does is foster relationships between people to a point where they can be productive in accomplishing whatever their goal is. As a fellow believer, I did not want to see these parties going through litigation. Unfortunately, we reached a point where I felt litigation was perhaps the only way to gain some movement. Bob was able to step in before anything got into the court system and help us find a way to resolve things without going through the litigation process. As a believer, as an attorney, that meant the world. When the case had finally closed and we were finally able to walk out of that last meeting, I think my client felt a great sense of relief and a great sense of closure. A period of time that felt pretty hopeless because we weren't going anywhere turned into hope when we started seeing Bob has the ability to make a connection with the other party that we weren't, for whatever reason, making before.